You see real red dots, and let's look at the replay. That was very fast. Alright, let's check suppression. Do I have any actual wrecks here? Just have a look around quickly. Nope, nothing's been destroyed. Surprisingly, he may be damaged though. That looked rather accurate. So, let's check suppression. Well, that's what happens when you try things and your opponent goes, ah, he's trying things, and then says, ah, just load up. That'll teach him to try things. Well, I've probably tried something fairly stupid actually, so. Now, honestly, I wish something had been destroyed, because then it would be obviously stupid, but yeah, well, actually that artillery came in very quickly, so that's kind of scary. So even though it was a stupid thing to do, I actually lit something. He's got a very, very fast spotter, or forward observer or whatever, because that came in before my turn. That's actually scary fast. I gotta think about that for between this turn and the next turn. Something to remember. Normally the artillery, for the average case, the artillery will come in at the end of your opponent's turn. It came in at the beginning. Not difficult to get that, but you have to pay for it, I think. Alright, let's check all the squads. 2 enemy units seen. We'll look at that in a minute. Now those cool wagons may be immobilized. That's very likely, I think. There's one mistake I made with these guys. This particular platoon of this particular scout platoon should have been loaded onto Kubel wagons. An obvious thing to do. I didn't do it. And that 25-pounder was called in as an artillery barrage, because it's no spotter has no line of sight. Or actually, it might be direct. No. Oh, okay. Okay. It might actually be direct fire, maybe. Sure if that's. I mean, you could just be firing at that target, or using indirect fire, but it's still waiting to be able to see the hex, though. Let's see. Suppression. No suppression. He is apparently not damaged. So, okay, we managed to get away with something. I'm not sure. Well, he's got some suppression. No damage. Alright, so we're obviously not sticking around to get fired at again. Yeah, I have a feeling that the 25-pounder was actually firing using indirect fire. That's a possibility. But if it says he has no line of sight, the spotter has no line of sight, then not sure. So there is another possibility. It's not just a fast forward observer, or a forward observer with a very high artillery rating. Okay, so let's have a look around, see what these units are. This side we have here an anti-tank. And what do we got here? Bren carriers. Pounder anti-tank gun. Let's have a look around, see who can actually see these things. Interesting. We can actually see that from there. That's kind of surprising. How fast are they moving? They're moving really fast. 2-pounder anti-tank gun moving at 18 miles per hour. You must have unloaded it. Yeah, this is what happens when you unload from a moving vehicle. You suddenly get a lot of speed, and I mean a lot of speed. Way more than the actual vehicle was moving. Don't know how. To me, it actually looks like a bug, to be honest, but because it just doesn't make any sense, right? Anything that doesn't make any sense is probably a bug. That's basically my approach to programming. And generally it works for the majority of programming problems. If you treat everything that doesn't make any sense like a bug, then you're off to a better start. So let's look around. Maybe we'll spot something else. Well, I stuck my neck out, but gotta learn how to do that without getting it chopped off. Which is the tricky part. Not quite there yet. We're only seeing those guys. Well, see, the thing is, yeah, now he'll go into stealth mode and not give his movements away too much. So I still won't learn anything. Amazing how we can actually see that. Except for him, of course, because he's behind the hill. Now, yeah, now you must have unloaded either accidentally or intentionally when he spotted me, because these guys are moving fairly quickly as well. Okay, they don't see anything. Have a quick look here. The 2-pounder anti-tank gun. I'm not sure if they carry HE. I have to go look that up at some point. Well, anyway, I can figure out how to get closer. Is to start further forward than I have, and then actually advance. Like, because in the first few battles, I mean, I was starting in a reasonable distance behind the start line, and then moving up very quickly. But that I was not getting anywhere. So now I'm trying to start earlier. Like I've moved my units as far forward as the rules will allow, but I'm not sure. The problem with that is it results in the battle starting very early, which then makes more difficult longer battles really. So starting further forward may not be the best plan, but I can't think of how else to get the Germans closer to the victory axes without at 1,000 points. Maybe at a higher point level, I'd be able to take half tracks and so on, which are actually not cheap. Because they're good armored vehicles, though. I mean, they're better than the brain gun carrier. But the brain gun carrier is cheap, so relatively speaking. So what wait. Now let's have a look with these guys. I don't think they may not see anything. But now's the best time to look because they're not moving yet. One of the because it's a turn-based game, obviously, so things tend to. But the way this works, it just resets, which is not really what you would want if you want to keep things realistic. Because the movement from the previous turn doesn't carry over. It's like all the units start out the turn stopped in a completely stopped state. So this is actually the best time to look around. In case now he's definitely not going to be moving very fast anywhere. Now that he's seen me, but he will have to though. So otherwise he'd get left behind. The problem is he could still be moving very quickly in here, and I still couldn't see him because it's just far enough away. I don't have any good scouts in the front here, like basic leg units. I'm not too sure that these motorcycle scouts actually will spot as well as these ones. Oh, I think I looked with him already. Well. Alright, so, let's see anything else. So I'll leave these guys here for the moment, move these scouts up, because this is an easy one. Try and get them onto these slopes. You can see a smoke, there's a artillery positioned here, judging by the way the smoke is. Okay, so, I'm not really sure if as a player you're supposed to pay attention to that, or are you supposed to ignore it? Like, I never ignore it. So I always know where the enemy's artillery is, but I mean, I can't do anything about it because I think that would be going too far. Just because you'd be abusing a stupid thing in the game, right? What's worrying here is I'm not seeing any other fast units. This brain gun carrier, these are probably the brain gun carrier anti-tank is usually the leader of a brain gun carrier recce team. Usually. So there's maybe more than one of them here. Or we may just have split them up and sending them in different parts of the map. Since we're not playing with command and control, it doesn't matter that they may be out of contact for long periods of time. Playing without command and control is a lot easier. It's quite, well, on the other end, against the human player, probably doesn't matter. Because, yeah, well, other difficulties will arise. So, moving these guys this way, I think. We don't have anybody up here. They're not going to be able to do much until they get right on top of the hill. So, actually, so what we'll do is move up along these hexes here. Avoid the slope. Yeah, so these scouts, what I've done with them makes them rather useless in the first few turns when you need when they are at their most valuable. So for the first few turns they've basically been wasted due to my usual stupidity. Shall we move up to there? Let's have a look here. Line of sight up to there. Yeah, if I'd put these up, if I'd put these into the Kubelwagons, then we would have had scouts right in the perfect position up here. But no, so now they lagging really far behind and just not helpful at all. Let's go to this side. These guys are in a similar position, however, not as bad. So how far away are those? They're quite way over here. Now he unloaded the anti-tank gun, whether on purpose by accident. So it's in a position that it could fire next turn. But it probably carries HE. I'm at a guess. The guess I'd say it probably carries some HE, so there's a risk to all of these infantry. Let's move forward. So what do I want these? Probably up here. Well, we have line of sight into that area for the most part. Lots of trees around, so we're not going to actually see very much. Okay, so let's put them this way. I'll leave them there. Now, what should they do? So we have very fast enemy unit here. We won't be able to keep up with that, unfortunately, because we're using Mach 1 legs here, so... Okay, so if there's a brain gun carrier here moving at 7 hexes, there's probably nothing in front of it. There's probably nothing in front of it, so that's probably the leading units. So in that case, we might want to... Yeah, let's advance these guys slowly. Maybe 2 hexes. You actually see very little there. So put the scouts slightly in front of them. I'm going to move these units onto the slopes where they should have some better cover. Maybe put one on this side in the rocks. For the time being anyway. do I want to... I moved 3. I don't want to stack these guys, so let's put him, let's move them up 1 more hex. Just to get them a little closer to the trees. Probably not the best plan. Might set these guys have longer ranges just to cover that. Let's get them a little bit spread out here. Put him on the slope here. Move him this way. Yeah, I expect we'll see a lot more enemies in the next turn. Yeah, let's put him there. Don't think they can be seen from anywhere, so yeah, I think we can move up fairly quickly. I'd actually like to move up a little bit more here, but it looks like, you know, in order to keep them together, not happening. Okay, so the support unit will move up. like he can see that. Nope, he actually saw something else. Did he? Oh, okay, no he didn't. Okay, so, next group. All right. Well, I mean, it's so great when you could actually afford expensive German half tracks. Well, they're like 15 points each, I think, or something like that. Which is, yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty good transport, but I mean that's kind of pricey at 1,000 points, so I have to have to make do without it. And that's, I mean, like I said, that's the reason I started deploying further forward. But the result is that it's making the battles longer because this the recon isn't my recon isn't anywhere near as good as it should be because I'm not pushed. There's not enough time. The scouts don't spend enough time in front of the infantry to actually do the job. So it's the infantry right there behind them going, come on, hurry up, which way do we go, where are they, sort of thing. So high probability of these guys being seen. Nothing I can do about it. Probably should get them into better formation now though. Might as well move up this way. At least if they're spotted, they're not as easy to hit. I mean, he's got a 25-pounder field gun in there, and that's pretty dangerous weapon. So don't really want to clump you guys together too much. I think we should be. These should be alright, I think. He's probably got his spotter here, though, so very likely they would be seen. Well, they've probably been seen already. Right. MGs. Can you see from there? A little bit might be useful. Probably not, though. Actually, further forward looks like it should be better. Okay, you can cover part of this side of the map just for the time being. Okay, observer. The tanks there for now. I think the mortars will move. No, we won't move them. Won't move them yet. We'll leave them at. We'll move them during when we're deciding artillery if anything's going to be called in. He's got enough movement points to get into that position. That's going to give him really quite good cover. So we'll go with that. What he will be here. Right. Okay, so obviously these guys cannot stay where they are because they were being targeted already. As the song goes, should we stay or should we go? I think we should go, but I don't know where. We've got movement up here. Actually, not that fast, surprisingly. Actually, no, there's a reason why it's not moving that fast, because he's moving through fairly rough terrain here. Trees and rough hexes and slopes, so that's what's slowing him down. Because I mean, this area he'd be able to move up very, very fast, but obviously there's an obvious reason not to do that. It's because it's open and there's Germans on the hill here already. So, well, given that he's got a very large artillery piece, they can pound the snot out of these Kuppelwagens without breaking a sweat. I'm inclined to actually pull them back, but that's kind of why he's doing that, obviously. To deprive me of having scouts who can actually see things. Now, why is it only... Okay, these guys cannot see that. It says a field gun spotter has no line of sight. We can't actually see that hex. So it must have been called in as indirect, as artillery, as a bombardment order. Which doesn't really tell me anything useful, but does mean he's there's in order for the 25 pounders to fire at that hex. Unless they're calling in themselves. So I think they should be able to do that. Let's see. Yep, they can call themselves in. Yep. And in my case, if I did that, it would still show up at the same speed as the port observer. Yeah. Now, he may have actually targeted those. It's possible he had set those as targets and then adjusted them. That's another possibility, because can't find a good reason why it came in that fast. The easiest explanation is that he's got a forward observer who has an artillery rating greater than 75, because it would have to be. So I don't know where to send them now. Well, if they're firing, the reason I'm trying to figure out whether they fire directly or indirectly is that if they're firing directly, they're using the X key, Z, sorry. To use the Z key to actually direct that attack, then it would come in very fast. I mean, the attack would occur on the enemy's turn, and he could do that because he's attacking the hex. So, but you have to be able to see it in order to do that. You have to. You can't do a Z attack on a hex you can't see. Like, it won't let you fire at a hex that's not in line of sight. I guess not in line of sight. So, yeah. So I think I can rule that out because it's behind a hill here. So okay, so he's got a forward observer that's very fast, but that does mean he has to issue a bombard order to do it, which this means he can't get it right away. Okay, so probably now if my best plan is to move these guys out of line of sight, maybe along the slope. Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good idea. So what can he see? Not much, really. It's gonna take me another turn to get these guys into position. Now, fortunately, they were not damaged, so I'm surprised he didn't fire at the motorcycle units because they probably would have been an easier target. Uh, well, more vulnerable target, put it that way. Maybe not easier because they were. The thing that saved these guys is that they were moving very fast, and so they weren't easy. They weren't easy to hit, even with artillery fire. Question is, why can we not see that? Because he's behind the trees. He may not actually have realized he's been spotted. No, he would have seen it. One of these units is able to spot him. Yeah. Okay, so let's get the motorcycle units off one of the slope. That's probably the only chance I'll have to spawn anything. Ooh, this is probably going to be very costly. Slope plus trees. Yeah, that's probably not, maybe not what I want to do. Wheeled vehicles. Movement rates for wheel is slopes is 6. Ouch. And trees is plus 6. Ouch. So that's going to cost 12 movement points right there. I want to keep them in line of sight though, so okay, so if we do that, that's 12. Still will have quite a lot of movement available. So this, you can see a little bit that way. Yeah. Let's put them in the trees. Hmm. Now, this Bren anti-tank is quite dangerous because he's got a 303 Bren anti-aircraft machine gun which has significantly longer range. So that's not healthy for these guys. That's why I need to keep the cool wagons close by. Okay, so he's got suppression and he's not. And he's suffering combat friction. He is the same. Combat friction, that's slowing them down quite a lot. Right, so I want to keep them on. I want to keep them in good cover, which is on the slope, but that's going to slow them down a lot. Don't know if I want to move these guys further forward to get more information. This, like I said, this bring gun carrier anti-tank, because of the anti-aircraft machine gun on it, is quite dangerous against infantry. The regular Bren gun carrier actually only has a short-range Bren on it, so it's only got 10 or 10x range, so it has to get pretty close, and which allows it to be suppressed with rifle fire. So if it wasn't for that, I'd actually consider pushing these guys forward. From what I've seen in the motorcycle units are quite vulnerable when they're moving fast. Because in the solo battle, I mean, the a similar case of the brain gun anti-tank, brain carrier anti-tank, attacking with its anti-aircraft machine gun against motorcycle units, and they caused casualties very, very easily. I like to avoid that this early. I'm not sure. Because I think, no, what we'll do is we'll probe forward a little bit. They have a big range. That thing has a big range though, so I don't really want to get into its line of sight. And it's got armor, which my cool wagons don't have. So that's a huge advantage there. So I can't really use these to cover them. Yeah, let's keep them on the slope. I'm gonna move them. Don't have to keep them on the slope while they are here. But yeah, let's keep them around this side, I think, because there is no point. Just can't decide whether to keep them together, because he's now way far from his. It's on the slope, so I think that'll have to do. It's a size 1 unit, so they're not they're not easily seen, considering they are motorcycle units. One would think they'd be they'd be heard though. I'm not really sure the game takes sound into account at all. We have some recon that way, so these Kumogungs, let's work on those. They need to move, obviously. I think these weren't even spotted. Got no line of sight to there. Now that one was probably spotted. So due to the fact that they don't have their full movement rate, Okay, so these guys are... let's see what we got here. How can we take... actually gives them good cover. Not sure they can see much though. This is the trees. Slope. Okay, spotted one enemy. Oh, it's the same one. Yep, nothing's changed. Let's just have a look. Nope, nothing's changed. Okay, let's avoid the trees. Same unit we spotted before. Here's a thing, I just realized if he was fired at... Nope. So he was definitely, that was definitely not a direct attack by any means, because his range is still 6. So that was definitely called in as artillery. Very fast. Oh, scary fast. actually not a terribly useful position, all things considered, except for the fact that it's got good cover. Alright, I think I'm gonna risk that. And that is because of the trees around this high ground. It actually is not that useful being right on the top. So you can see that way, but nothing over here. I put them in the best cover that there is available, but that is now quite a dangerous position. We'll see if it'll tempt a tank to move forward, just to get an idea of what he's got. At the cost of a cool wagon, obviously, but hopefully we'll have something that could tell us what it is. Hopefully. I think I'm done. Yeah, well, I took my time trying to figure out where to put those. I mean, there's so much. They're gonna get destroyed. I think. I don't see how we can avoid that, except by hiding them and not making any use of them. So, fortunately, they're not very expensive. So, but I mean, I value the anti-aircraft machine gun on it more than I do as a scout vehicle. So. But that's the cheapest vehicle I can get that can do scout. That's can scout ahead without because one of the problems I have is I can't do recon. So I don't have anything that can get me get in far enough in advance of. If you're deploying very far forward, you need something that can get further ahead of them, because obviously your leg scouts are not going to be able to do that. So this is the cheapest thing I can find. Well, there's a cheaper one. I mean, you could go with the regular Kubelwagen, and that is only 4 points. So that might be the better option for actual scouting. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's all. I'm kind of back in experimenting mode now because it goes. I have some success, and then I have a successful battle, and then suddenly the next battle is completely unsuccessful. It's almost like it's like a switch. So I think I need to try different things. So we're gonna have these scouts push forward here for the next couple of turns. Well, maybe slow them down now though, because they're moving. I have to remember I deployed very far forward, so I can't spend 3 or 4 turns moving very fast. Probably 2 at most, I think. And they have to slow down. So I might want to set these ranges so they can actually hit things there. Unfortunately, I don't have heavy machine guns in this area, so that's a bit awkward. I have a lot of LMGs though, because each of these squads has an LMG. I've got them set up as rifle units right now. They're not going to be using their mortars. So that is further away than 16 hexes. And am I calling any artillery in? He's in contact. So one possibility is to drop smoke on these hills here. To prevent it from being used as possible. But there's enough positions where I could never, I cannot cover the entire hill. So if I were to do that, it probably would only be the top part of the hill here. Or maybe this area here. But it wouldn't last long enough for it to matter. Let's see, I can't remember how much smoke I've got. Oh, okay, now these guys have not moved yet, so we can still fire with them. Okay, so 8 smoke ammo. Wow, okay. 24, okay, well, we can live with that. That's 2 full salvos. Another one with 8. Okay. Another one with 8. Wow. Okay, so only one mortar has a full... that's ridiculous. Yep, that's what it is. So yeah, that's not wasted then. We'll use it when necessary. So these guys can move forward. Since they're not gonna fire. I think the tanks will stay there for another turn. Once these possibly move in behind them, once they've advanced another little bit. So this area here is a good place to have them stage, and they should be able, they can move out either that way, or this way, depending what the circumstances are. They can even camp on the slope back here. I don't think they can be seen from anywhere. Looking at it from these guys' point of view. Yep, I think that'd be a good place to put them. They can support that side. It would take them a little bit of time to move through this side, but they could potentially even support that side if it came down to it. Right. Okay, this is now here's a little bit of a nuisance. Oops. Yeah, so these do not even show up in there. The 50 millimeters don't show up in there. I wonder why that is. Okay, well they moved, so that's probably not going to help. But let's see if I enable that. Is he out of contact? No, he's in contact. Okay, so there's a disadvantage to that unit then. Yeah, so you can't call them in as artillery. They are strictly close support. Right. Well, that is kind of a disadvantage for using those, and a good argument for not bothering rather get the support one, the support units in that. But I'm not sure if those are classified as artillery. I mean, they're in the artillery screens. I don't know. I'd have to ask my opponent what he thinks of that. All right, I think that's it. I can't see anything else I could even do here. So it's the first time I've tried these weapon troop units. They already not thinking like really thinking they might not be all that useful. The thing is, the 50mm is not really ideal for calling in as artillery anyway. They just don't have the kind of they don't cause the kind of damage you would need. They better used in direct fire. As you know, to support units that to fire things they can see to support the infantry around them, right? And that's what I'm going to try to use. How I'm going to try to use them in this battle, but we'll see. Okay, I think it looks like nobody's moved. Yep. I have a bit of movement left, but some of them don't. Start keeping them together. Actually, we might as well move them further up then. Okay. They will lift all of their movement. All right. And some of them have used all of their movement. So they're now moving in formation, so let's keep that positions. All right, I think that's it. Send a turn. Okay, some of the artillery is coming in at the end of my turn, so